Hi, from this video, you are learning about the topic called pain. Pain is a very important subject for rehabilitation professionals to know because you are one of the key partner in treatment of pain from various disorders of patients. Pain is a very unpleasant sensory experience which is associated with actual or potential tissue damage. Pain is mediated by various central and peripheral neuroanatomical pathways and mechanisms. Rehab people should be able to understand these pathways and mechanisms very well in order to understand your treatment evaluation and prognosticating the patient recovery. You are gaining from this video three important uh, subjects. One is how this pain pathway is running from origin till the location, and what is pain gate theory, and what is analgesic system. Analgesic system is not something which you take from external pain medicine, and internally, endogenous, we have a separate system called analgesic system where the internal chemical components which are generated and which is going to alleviate the pain sensation. So these are the topics which we are going to learn from this video. So what is pain? We know it is very unpleasant sensory experience, and is there any role for body to give this pain sensation to the brain? It has a significant value. The pain has a very significant value, and if any patient knocks your door and complains the pain, none of the medical professionals should jump into a conclusion and start killing the pain. Killing the pain is very negative things without a proper evaluation and proper understanding. And pain is a very good warning sign. And you have to analyze why the pain is occurring and originating. I would give you one small example. If patient comes and sees you with a sciatica, we know what is sciatica. It is a sciatic nerve radiculopathy. The sciatic nerve radiculopathy is the pain coming from the lumbar spine which is passing along the course of the sciatic nerve down into the leg. So why the sciatic nerve is trying to alarm you its suffering? The sciatic nerve gets compressed with various regions, with lumbar canal stenosis or disc herniations or with any ligamentous thickenings or lumbar instability or spondylolisthesis and so on. So there are various the problems in which the sciatic nerve gets impinged or compressed. So we need to first analyze because of what the sciatic nerve is alarming you, the pain along its course without proper examination, and we should not rush into treating the pain. So we miss the proper or actual diagnosis, and this is one of the negative devastating the conclusion what so we make. So the pain has a very significant role, so we need to analyze it very well. So if you want to analyze it very well, you need to understand the basic, the neuroanatomical, the concepts within the body. Next, the pain is originated from the receptor and it is reaching the sensory cortex. So entire pathway, there are three sets of neurons which you need to understand. The first, second and third. So first order neuron, second order neuron, third order neuron. The pain information or pain action potential which is generated at the level of the receptors, the information is handed over at the level of spinal cord, then again to the next order neuron till the sensory cortex. So these three order neurons from where to where you need to remember. The nextly, what are the components of pain? The pain has two components majorly, slow pain component and fast pain component. What is fast pain component? If you give a sensory stimulus to a subject or over the skin, the immediate response of this sensory stimulus is a very sharp pain. The sharp pain is always very bright, sharp, localized in nature. and which is immediately disappearing, which leads to a slow pain. Slow pain is something which is diffuse and which is dull and unpleasant. So, the slow pain and fast pain, the neurochemicals which mediates this pain is different. The fast pain is always the presynaptically, the glutamate is a chemical substance which takes the information from first order neuron to the second order neuron. The slow pain, the chemical responsible for the slow pain is the substance P, which is getting released at the level of presynaptic, the neuron, and transferring the information to postsynaptic neuron in the order. Apart from slow pain and fast pain, there is one more component of the pain called referred pain. What is referred pain? The pain which is felt away from the actual zone of origin. For example, the cardiac pain which is felt at the medial aspect of left arm and left forearm. What is the reason behind it? The complex, the neuronal network at the level of the spinal segment which is responsible for this referred pain. So, we need to remember the referred pain is also very alarming thing and it has its own significance in the body. The receptors for this slow pain and fast pain is same, that is free nerve endings are responsible for generating action potentials of this pain sensation. The afferent fibers, the receptor then afferent pathway is beginning. The afferent fibers are different again for slow pain and fast pain. The slow pain is always carried by fiber C and fast pain is carried by A delta fibers. So, there are two different fibers which carries different components of the pain, and this A delta and C fibers are carrying the information till the spinal cord. Within the spinal cord, how this information is going? The spinothalamic tract takes this information from second order neuron till the thalamus, subsequently to parietal lobe of the brain. The face area, the sensations are carried by again the trigeminal nerve. The visceral pain information is carried by sympathetic chain, and from the pelvic organs it is from the parasympathetic roots. So, you need to remember and what are the different the nerves which are responsible carrying this pain sensation from different locations of the body. Ultimately, the relay station is the thalamus and the ending location, the destination is the parietal lobe. So, this entire pathway, the components and what are the chemicals responsible, everything you have to understand in detail. Now, I wanted to show you one diagram which will explain you how this from the receptors and the parietal lobe, this pathway is leading with the three order neurons. Let us look at this diagram. This diagram clearly explains you from the skin, from the sensory stimuli, that is noxious stimuli which is given on the surface of the skin, how this is producing the information, that is action potential in the sensory pathway. This is carried forward and towards the spinal cord. From the dorsal root ganglion, the first order neuron, the dendrites towards the cell body. From the cell body, axons takes the information towards the second order neuron. The information is exchanged at the level of dorsal root and within the spinal cord, dorsal horn of the spinal cord, that is the gray matter. From the gray matter, the second order neuron is beginning. The second order neuron which crosses opposite side of the spinal cord and ascends up towards the brainstem, which passes through the brainstem and enters into the brain. The important relay station is the thalamus. The thalamus is the area where all the sensory information relays and which is being handed over to the third order neuron. This is a third order neuron from the thalamus which is originating and moves towards the parietal lobe. The parietal lobe is a center for sensations, and parietal lobe is responsible for perception of this sensory information which is present just posterior to the central sulcus. So this diagram clearly explains you first, second and third order neurons. The important point what we have to remember here is the thalamus is a relay station from where the third order neuron is beginning. Nextly, you have to remember what are the receptors for this pain mechanism. If you look at this diagram, the first A is free nerve endings. The free nerve endings are responsible for taking the sensory or noxious stimuli which generates action potential which travels down towards the cell body of the free nerve ending. From the cell body, the information goes via axon into the central nervous system. So why these free nerve endings when you compare to the other the receptors? When you look at other receptors are capsulated with some cilia over the receptor with a different shape. But when you look at the receptors of the pain, that is free nerve ending, which is not encapsulated with any kind of subsequent layers. The mainly because the body has mechanism, the pain is a sensation which has to be accepted and perceived, and the action potential needs to be generated so quickly so that these free nerve endings are exposed abundantly over the surface of the body. That is the main reason, and immediately any noxious stimulus is going to produce a very quick action potential within the sensory neuron. So you need to remember these free nerve endings are responsible for production of fast and slow pain action potential.